guys, this is D from D&E. Welcome back to another video. This is what if Deku had a poison/acid frog quirk part 2. So after the entrance exam, after he gets the letter, he goes to Principal Nezu's office. And and he wants to congratulate him in person. So he goes to Nezu's office. Nezu congratulates him on, getting right below. Actually, no. Momo's there as well. Momo is also there. Same with Momo's parents. But Izuku's parents are not there because, he has a single mother and his single mother is working. Okay? So, and the frog... Yeah, it's just a mutation, not change. So, yeah. I think I know what I'm saying. So, when he gets to the office, he sees Momo. And Nezu says, "Hey, where is your parents or guardian?" And he says, my mother is at work. My father is somewhere. Don't know where, but somewhere. My father is just somewhere in America. Or whatever. Wasn't gonna call him. And my mother was working. So, yeah. It's just me. And Nez was like, okay, you know what? Sure. And he congratulates those two on getting, they get almost exactly they almost pretty much scored just as high as he did when he first... Because he wasn't the first principal in UA. But they scored a few points lower than he did on the written part. So he wanted to congratulate them because they're almost just as smart as him. And soon to be will be just as smart, if not smarter than him. I don't know why Nezu's the smartest on Earth. But you know what? Smartest on the planet. But you know what? He is. Okay? So... he congratulates them. Momo's parents say, hey, and Deku's like, cool. Cool. So he flies it off like the god he is, okay? So then, once they leave, and also, I'm just gonna say, this is an hour before class starts. Everyone gets there at the start of the MA, 20 minutes before class starts. They get there an hour before class starts. Deku's in the classroom, because Momo's just looking around the school. Deku's in the classroom, 10 minutes before the teacher gets there. And, so, Deku is there, the god he is, and he is sleeping, because what else is he going to do for an hour? He doesn't have a phone to play his video games on, which, maybe would have been a good thing I should have added. Maybe in a different series. So, also, this is my third time recording this. Yeah. First 2 times, the thing went bazonkers. Oops, I forgot to put it on the image. Okay, sorry about that. So, once he gets to the classroom, that's a pretty big door, and, it's locked. So, do what he does. Shoots a little bit of acid at it, melts a hole through the door, and walks through the hole. Because, they gotta be ready for that kid that's just gonna do it. If they're early enough. It's just gonna do it if the door's locked. So, he walks in, he sleeps. Aizawa sees this and is like, I don't get paid enough for this. The school better be paying for these doors. Better be paying for a replacement. It's their fault for letting 2 kids. It's their... And Momo got there the same time as Zuko got there. But, and Momo's like, I could just create a key to get in. And he's like, no need, I'll just melt down the door. And she's like, don't you think that's, like, damaging the property? Don't you think that's not allowed? And he's like, well, they're gonna have us go to class an hour early and the teacher not even be there to unlock the door for us? Yeah, I'm gonna melt it down. Because, I mean, like, say you had a quirk, like, say you had a water quirk. You couldn't do anything against a metal door. What do we do? Sit out here? No, I'm gonna melt down the door and I'm gonna say it's their fault. And it's gonna be their fault. So he melts down the door, he walks in, and he goes and sits at he chooses a desk. He goes and sits in the back, like the cool kids. He sits in the back, and, because he's not a nerd. So then, after that, Aizawa comes and says, the school better be paying for this. But I'm going to be furious, because I don't really want to pay for this. I don't want to pay for this. So, he walks in, sees Momo sitting on one of the front, sitting in the front, and then he sees, and out of the corner of his eyes, sees Izuku sitting in the back, sleeping. And he says in his mind, I wish I could sleep right now. And then puts on a sleeping bag and passes out. As usual, as the normal Aizawa does. So, then as everyone gets in, the loudness of the class wakes up Aizawa and Izuku. So, he isn't called Deku because he had a quirk. He had a good quirk. That was powerful. And then Shoto, and then Aizawa says, be quiet. It took you long enough to be quiet. It took you a whole 10 minutes to get quiet. So this better be good. So you better be good. You better be able to ace everything here if you want to be able to talk. If you're looking to make friends, I'd suggest you leave now. Unless you want me to, unless you want me to go hard on you, then, because if you do, I will go hard on you, he says. So, then they go to the quirk apprehension. Araka says, but don't we have to go to the assembly? And Izuku's like, he's the teacher. He teaches how he wants to. If he doesn't want us to go to the assembly, then then he's not gonna have us go to the assembly. And Shoto's like, act more like that kid. He has more respect for me than any of you brats. So then he goes out there and he says, and then Minna says, oh, this is gonna be fun. So and then he's like, fun? You want me to make this fun? More fun for you? Whoever gets in last place gets kicked out of UA. Also, I'm just going to say this right now. Minetta's a girl. Horny Minetta. Minetta's a girl. Just gonna say it. Because I need someone, because he's been training for a long time, and he has those buff muscles. He has an 8-pack. He has that godly 8-pack. And get in the locker rooms and change into your gym uniforms. And there will be lockers with your names on them and a gym uniform inside. So they go in, they grab their gym uniform. As Deku takes off his shirt, Kirishima's like, bro, how'd you get an 8-pack? How'd you get an 8-pack? Oh, I've been able to get as a 6-pack. Bro, your muscles are manly. Your muscles are manly, bro. Bro, your muscles are manly. And Minetta sees a hole in the wall, a small hole in the wall, like a tiny crack in the wall that leads, and Izuku's muscles. And he has the girls look, and he has the girls, and like, okay, I'm gonna say Zoro notices this and says, "Hey, Mineta." I'm gonna call him Mineta either way. Hey, Mineta, what are you looking at? And she's like, "Oh, well, there's this hole in the wall that goes into the boys' locker room." And Zoro's like, "Really? Let me see this so I can block it up." And Mineta's like, no, just looking at. And then Zoro sees Deku's 8-pack, like, blushes a little bit. And then it's like, and then, girls, you gotta see this. And then they come in and each look in the hole and see Deku's 8-pack, his godly 8-pack, while he's talking to Kirishima. So, and then they're like, and then they all get nosebleeds. Mineta just keeps looking. They all look away and get nosebleeds on how muscular Deku is. So, and then like Taisu like blushes so hard. It's like with Minna. It's gonna be a Deku x Minna and Taisu. It's like Minna and Taisu blush so hard. Like the girls' nosebleed they don't blush. Okay, I'm gonna change that. Besides for Minna and Taisu, and they're like, and the girls don't notice it at first. The girls don't notice it this time, at least. So they go out of the locker room, clean up the blood. They go out of the locker room. The boys go out of the locker room. Deku puts a shirt on and goes out of the locker room, but makes it look hot. Where it's like. Or like, because the gym uniforms, I'm gonna say like the boys' gym uniforms have like buttons, 2 buttons. So, and he unbuttons them, and he unbuttons the 2 buttons to just show a little bit of that pack, and just to show a little bit, because he's hot. No homo, my guys. You can call him hot all you want. I'll say no homo. I'll say no homo for you. So no homo, my guys. So, and so the apprehension test. Okay. And since Deku has acid and poison, I guess the poison could also work as like a liquid substance. So I'm gonna say like it kind of works like water, I guess. So he puts the ball on but like he can split the poison into a liquid, and just have the acid as the like gas. So the acid, the gas, and just puts it in the ground or something. So, and then he puts the ball on top of the poison. Remember, he's immune to poison and acid. And then he makes it where a hand is made out of the poisonous water and whatever. So then it goes up as far as it can and then throws the ball, which goes as far as it can and then throws the ball, which gets it like triple as far as it could. And like as far as it could was like, I'd say about, since he's been training his quirks, he gets about, the hand goes about already like 500 meters. So he triples it. He gets like 1,500 meters. Bakugo gets, and like everyone impressed, and then they look at Araka, which gets infinite, and then they're not impressed with her because, you know, it's her quirk. You know, I always thought it was kind of dumb. So, anyways, so I'm gonna skip through some of these and like go like where they have to hold themselves up. Deku got first place in that because first of all he didn't have a broken finger. So he gets first place in that because, and again, he has the grip like a frog. He has really good grip. Because the acid can also be sticky. Like a sticky substance. So he uses the acid. It's like, it's not going to burn it, but it's going to be a sticky substance. So he sticks his hands onto it. And like, on command, can make it let go of his hand. So he's just sitting there for as long as possible. So he just sits there for an hour. Gets like an hour on that. Nobody else can even challenge him with that. Bakugo can't even challenge him with that. Todoroki tries something similar and freezes his hands to it. And then realizes that was a stupid idea after he got frostbite in one of his fingers. Oh yeah, we cut off one of Todoroki's fingers. It's not going to do anything. But he has to get his pinky fingers cut off. Because he got frostbite in them. Stupid idea, Todoroki. And he didn't even get higher than Bakugo did. And Bakugo just used pure strength. So, the ball throw, he gets like 1,500 meters. The thing where you hold your body up over a pole or whatever, he gets an hour. I'm gonna skip the running one. The running one, he gets like second place, only beaten by Ida. I'm gonna say Ida beat them because, Ida's quirk is speed, and if he didn't succeed at least getting first place in the speed one, I'd pretty much say he's useless. So after that, they go back to the class, and as they're walking out for the first day, class 1B huddles up towards the door and says, you class 1A losers. And Monoma gets right in Izuku's face, in Deku's face, which Deku does not like. So he grabs Monoma and fucking picks him up and throws him out of the way. He goes head first into a wall. The rest of the Class 1B move out of Deku's way. You don't want to be like him. Yeah, he's fine. He gets sent to recovery, girl. But he also threatens him a little just so the rest of his class can get out as well. And then since they have no one left to bully, they go home. So yeah, I'm gonna end it off there. And so I'm ending it off here. Bye guys. I am D. And I am